Terus dukung channel ini dengan like dan subscribe.
In Islam, the Day of Judgment, or the end of time, is the ultimate event for all life on earth. It marks the destruction of the universe and everything in it, including humans and all other creatures. No living being can escape this event. Muslims are required to believe in the coming of the Day of Judgment as a sign of their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This event is actually the beginning of the true life that humanity will experience. The life we live now is temporary, whereas the life that is eternal and everlasting is in the hereafter. For those who are faithful, devout, and have obeyed all of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands and avoided His prohibitions during their lives, they will find eternal happiness after the Day of Judgment, with endless rewards in paradise.
The arrival of the Dajjal is one of the major signs that the Day of Judgment is very near. The Dajjal is a creature of Allah who has distinct physical features, curly hair, and only one eye on the left side, as his right eye is blind. The word kafir, disbeliever, is written on his forehead. He will emerge from a place known as Lake Tiberias. With his power, the Dajjal will be able to command the sky to rain, ending a long drought. As a result of this drought, all plants and animals will suffer. However, the Dajjal will also be able to command the earth to become fertile, making plants flourish and livestock thrive. Another one of the Dajjal's extraordinary abilities is his power to resurrect the dead. Because of this, many people will follow him, believing him to be a god. Anyone who follows him will be promised a place in paradise, while those who refuse to worship him will face severe torment and may even be killed for their defiance. In reality, the paradise the Dajjal promises is actually hell in the sight of Allah, and those who remain steadfast in their belief and worship only Allah as their one true God will be saved from Allah's punishment. The Dajjal will rule the earth for approximately 40 days, as stated in a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad narrated by Ibn Majah. 40 days, but one day will be like a year, one day will be like a month, one day will be like a week, and the rest of his days will be like your days.
One of the signs of the Day of Judgment is the emergence of the Imam Mahdi. However, Imam Mahdi is not a name but a title given to a person chosen by Allah. In Arabic, Imam means leader, while Mahdi means the guided one. Therefore, the Imam Mahdi is Allah's chosen leader who has been given divine guidance. The Imam Mahdi's characteristics include being a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, having a broad forehead and a prominent nose. He will come to fight the Dajjal's tyranny after his rise to power. His arrival will be to eradicate all forms of evil committed by the Dajjal. This will show humanity the truth that the Dajjal's teachings are misguided and will guide humanity back to the correct path of believing in Allah as the one and only God.
The Imam Mahdi will not be alone in fighting the Dajjal. Prophet Isa will also be sent by Allah to descend. He will not bring a new religion or Sharia, but will carry on the teachings already given, faith in Allah. The descent of Prophet Isa has been explained in the Quran, in Surah Ali Imran, verse 55. Allah said, "O Isa, indeed I will take you and raise you up to myself and purify you from those who disbelieve and make those who follow you superior to those who disbelieve until the day of resurrection. Then to me is your return, and I will judge between you concerning that in which you used to differ. Prophet Isa is described as having a body that is neither too tall nor too short. He has curly hair that hangs down to his shoulders, a broad chest, and a reddish complexion. The White Minaret on the eastern side of Damascus, Syria, will be the location of his descent to earth. The return of Prophet Isa is a sign of the Day of Judgment, as he will join the Imam Mahdi to fight the Dajjal and bring an end to his reign of tyranny on earth. The battle between Prophet Isa, the Imam Mahdi, and the Dajjal will end with the Dajjal's death, as he is pierced in the chest by Prophet Isa at the gate of Lud near the Al-Aqsa Mosque complex.
Another one of the major signs of the Day of Judgment is the emergence of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Gog and Magog. The Quran explains that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are a group of people who spread chaos and destruction on earth. It's mentioned that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are humans with certain features, such as slanted eyes, flat noses, and blonde hair. They are said to be trapped in a valley between two mountains, where the great king Dhul-Qarnayn built a massive wall to contain them. Because of this wall, Ya'juj and Ma'juj cannot get out. However, in the Quran, Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 96, it is stated that this barrier will eventually fall, allowing Ya'juj and Ma'juj to emerge and wreak havoc on the earth. They will drink the water from Lake Tiberias, a place where the Dajjal is also believed to emerge. No one will be able to stop them except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the end, Ya'juj and Ma'juj will die from a disease caused by worms on their necks. Afterward, birds will come and carry their bodies away from the earth, and then rain will fall to purify the land.
Another surprising sign of the Day of Judgment for humanity is the sun rising from its setting place. The sun rising from the west has been mentioned in a hadith narrated by Muslim. The hour will not be established until the sun rises from the west. When the sun rises from the west, all people will believe. But a person's faith will not be of any benefit to them if they had not believed before, or had not earned some good through their faith. It's not just Islam that speaks of the sun one day rising from the west. Science also predicts that this is not impossible. A number of studies suggest that the Earth's current rotation will slow down, eventually causing its direction of spin to reverse. The Earth currently rotates from west to east, which makes the sun appear to rise from the east. If this rotation were to reverse, the Earth would spin from east to west, making the sun appear to rise from the west. When the sun rises from the west, the door for all good deeds is closed. All the commands from Allah that people had ignored will be carried out by them, but it will be all in vain and pointless.
The appearance of smoke that causes people to die upon inhaling it is another one of the signs of the Day of Judgment. This smoke, known as ad-dukhan in the Quran, is a threat to humanity. The first time the dukhan appeared was during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad as a form of punishment for the disbelieving Quraysh who were hostile to the Prophet. The dukhan will reappear at the end of time, lasting for 40 days and 40 nights. The earth will be enveloped in darkness due to this smoke. The smoke will be fatal to most people who breathe it in. However, for those who are believers, the smoke will only cause an effect similar to a common cold or flu. On the other hand, for sinners, it will cause a burning sensation that feels like their skin is on fire. For believers, the signs of the Day of Judgment serve as a reminder to humanity that every action they take now will eventually be met with a consequence. Good deeds performed in this world will lead to ease when their actions are judged in the afterlife. In contrast, those who commit bad deeds and violate religious law
will receive a painful and sorrowful punishment as a consequence of what they have done in this world. The Day of Judgment will ultimately reveal who is good and who is evil in the sight of Allah.
Terus dukung channel ini dengan like dan subscribe.